how long did it take you? And he says from June 9th until now. I said, no. How long did it take you to preach it? He says, about 20 minutes. So, we all know Jordan. Well, what can I say about him? He's Jordan.
He's you.
Yes, he's my child. You won't read that one. But anyway, he comes to me actually, June 9th, yeah. Because I told him, I said, you might want to be ready to preach. I go, when we're at the Jubilee, I says, because I don't know if they're going to call on you or not, but you better have a message prepared. And they didn't call on Jordan or myself. I didn't really care if they called on me or not. But on the way home, he says, Dad, can I preach next Sunday night? Or next Thursday? Or in 2 weeks or something like that. I said, yeah. I told him Monday, I said, oh, by the way, you're preaching Thursday. He says, okay. Melissa comes up and says, you realize we're having a missionary? I said, Lord, do you remember we're having a missionary? I said, I do now. I do remember now. And so I had to call Jordan and tell him, you're not preaching tonight. We have a missionary. He says, okay, no problem. Like, no big deal if I preach or not, But, Jordan, you ready?
Is it on?
Yes.
Can you hear me okay? Okay. If you have your Bible this morning, turn to the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 7. Get a minute there. Today we'll be looking at verses 12 through 16.
Amen.
Chapter 7. Yes, chapter 7. 2 Chronicles 7, 12 through 16. And the Lord appeared unto Solomon by night, and said unto him, I have heard thy prayer, and I have chosen this place for myself, for a sacrifice, a house of sacrifice. If I shut up heaven that there be no rain, or if I command locusts to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among my people, if my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and forgive their sins, and heal their land. For my eyes shall be open, and my ears shall be attentive unto the prayers that I have made in this place. For I have chosen and sanctified this house, that my name may be forever there, forever. And my eyes and my heart shall be there perpetually. Today we're looking at this verse in particular, and verse 14 in particular. Let's look at verse 13 though. God, here in Chronicles 7, verse 13, God says that there be no rain if I shut up heaven, or command locusts to devour land, or send pestilence among his people. You know how many times God has judged his people like that for their sins? Quite a bit. I tried to look at it this afternoon. It didn't show it. At least it did show the number. It just pulled up Bible references. And one that it did pull up was Ezekiel 5, 1 through 7. I'm not going to 5, 1 through 17. I'm not reading the entire passage. But 17. Let's read Ezekiel 5, 17. So will I send famine and evil beasts, and they shall be relieved thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee, and I have spoken it, and the Lord, have spoken it. There in Ezekiel 5:17, the Lord is judging Israel again for their sins. He sent pestilence. I looked up the word pestilence. It's a plague. It's a plague. Just a straight up plague. Here, the plague, it mentions pestilence multiple times in the Old Testament. And God sent it either to the Israelites for their sins or to another nation to help the Israelites beat them. Point number 1 is God judges. God judges. If here in America we have forgotten to pray, we have forgotten to seek His face, and most importantly, the last time we as a nation have humbled ourselves was 9/11. That was the last time America ever truly went, obviously not truly hardly, but went back and humbled God. I've heard stories after 9/11, the Sunday right after 9/11, the churches were packed where it was standing room only for weeks, if not months afterwards. Then it started dying down because they got used to it. They moved on. They didn't continue to seek God's face. What they did, they turned back towards their wicked ways. They turned their back on God. And sadly, that's what America has done for a while now. If we go by the verses, there's another verse. Let's go all up. In Kings. In 1 Kings 8:37. If there be a land famine, if there be pestilence, lasting, mildew, locust, or if there be a caterpillar, if enemies besiege them in the land of their cities, whatsoever plague, whatsoever sickness there be, what prayer and supplication soever be made by man or by all thy people Israel, I shall know every plague of his heart, and spread forth towards his own house. And then hear in heaven thy dwelling place, and forgive, and give unto every man according to his ways, whose heart thou knowest. For thou, even thou only, knowest the hearts of all the children of men. God can tell when we're serious about humbling, if we're serious about turning from our wicked ways. God knows. And God will punish if we are not content, if we don't turn back. If we don't seek Him, if we don't go back. We as America have forgotten to go back. A lot of people have taken their Bible that they got and placed it and just left it on the dash after they go home, after they do Sunday school, after not Sunday school, from church on Sunday. And then they just leave it there until Sunday. They take it out, open it up, not even look at it. They don't look at it to see what they might look at it just to see what the preacher's talking about and leave. Then they go right back to their wicked ways, as if nothing ever happened, if Sunday wasn't there. And sadly, America, across it, has done that a lot here lately. America has forgotten the ways. Some look at it as in this virus that's going around, as in a plague that God has sent. I don't know. I'm not God. But that's one thing we have forgotten to do, is pray and seek His face. Anyways, and then when God punishes, He corrects us. He turns us around. multiple verses in the Bible about correcting, especially the entire book of Judges. It's got God judging and correcting these people. There's 12 judges in total. Each one came as a result of the sin of Israel. They had their chances to turn back before God sent someone their way to destroy them and teach them a lesson. Sadly, America has had many people come their way and go, "This isn't right. This isn't what God wants. We should turn around. We should face Him again." But then after they say that, you never hear from them again. We might hear them on the news every now and then. When's that?
Go good. Amen.
Let's read 14 again. "If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways." We have to humble ourselves.
Sure.
And to humble ourselves, we have to pray.
Yes.
Read the Bible. So, I don't want to poll. It's not a poll. I just want you to think about it. How many of you, in your mind, I want to know, how many of you read the Bible seven times a week? How many of you read it 6 times? What about 5? How about 4? 2? How many of you at least read it once a week? How many forget a couple days? But if we just take our Bible and throw it throw it on the bed, it gets buried, we have to look for it on Sunday because we don't know where it's at. It's disrespecting God. And that's telling God, well, I only need you on Sundays. Another day, I got this. You're telling God, I want to be the pilot for a while. I only need you when I need something. That's all.
It sure sounds like America.
And sadly, God's getting tired of it. You can just tell by the world. If you turn on the news right now, once you go, you'll hear about the riots. You'll hear about how cops are killing black people. How the world is going down. You never hear about something good that happens, like a cop saves a child's life from getting ran over by a car, or a firefighter helped stop a forest fire. You always hear about them fighting. You never hear about them finishing it. You never hear about it. You never hear you almost never hear anything good on the news.
Right.
It's always negative. The way a dad just explained it a couple days ago, either yesterday I think it was the way it is. Someone throws a log on the fire. If you don't, they'll just go. If you just don't, without stoking the fire, just go out and throw the log on. But if you stoke the fire, and in this case, the fire is hatred, the fire is anger, the fire is complete disrespect towards God. And right now, we as Americans taking the biggest stick we can and going, here, light, burn. And us Christians, which are watching, just go, what's going on? I don't know what to do. I'm afraid. But yet, what tells us to humble ourselves and seek God's face. And when we do that, it means we have to stand up for God. We are His children. We are Christians, after all, are we not?
Right.
A lot of people look at people that say they're Christians, that say, well, I'm saved, I can do whatever I want now.
Come on.
They basically say, I have the license to sin. There's nothing you can do about it. Which puts a bad reputation on us that are actually good Christians, that are actual Christians. The word Christian means Christ-like. How many of you have actually seen these people which go out, they drink, they party, they swear up a storm? Then they come to church on Sunday, and they're the nicest person you'll ever meet. It seems like they're the nicest person you'll ever meet. I've seen a couple. And it's sad, because one church, the nicest person you could ever meet. They welcome everybody. And in fact, they even occasionally let a homeless man sit in their spot. But yes, Monday rolls around, they go to work, they cuss out their co-workers for hitting their foot on accident. The homeless man that walked up on Sundays that wants to say thank you, he goes, "Get away from me, I don't know you. What are you looking at?" Cusses them out. Break down on the interstate, they cuss you out. Then when it comes to, then they see you, then you see them in Walmart. Someone bumps into the way or gets in the way. They just start cussing the person out like it's no tomorrow. You walk up to them and go, "Dude, you said you're a Christian." They go, They just walk out. As they're walking out, you can see what they have in their cart. They have beer, alcohol, everything. Anything you can think of that's sinful. And they act like nothing ever happened. It's sad. Those Christians, maybe they're only Christians by name. They're not even Christians. They're just saved. They've forgotten God. They've forgotten to say, "I'm sorry, God." They forgot to turn from their wicked ways. Yes. They forgot to seek His face, to pray, to humble themselves. There's a saying in the Bible: He who exalts himself shall be humbled, and he who humbles himself shall be exalted. Multiple times Jesus said that in parables, especially when referring to the parable about the rich man's wedding. Yeah. He said, "Is it better not to sit in a low place and be exalted, sit in a high place? Or is it better to sit in a high place and to say, 'I'm sorry, that way there's someone more important than you. Can you please move down?'" A lot of people are that way. They say, "Well, I'm better than him. I don't do this. I don't do that. I deserve to sit up there." And yet, they get moved down. They may seem like, on earth, they may seem like they have everything you've ever wanted, everything you ever need. You get to heaven, and their reward as Christians is just wood, hay, stone. And yet, when you try to help them, you try to guide them, correct them, they get mad at you. They're not getting mad at you. It may seem like they're getting mad at you, but they're not. They're getting mad at God. Saying, "I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm saying. You're not going to be in control over it. God, I know. But I know I don't have control. I gave you free will and purpose. There's nothing I can do. But He will. There's nothing He can do to stop you, but He will correct you. He'll make you see the error of your ways." Multiple of us have had that happen, where God has had to chastise us. You go, whoa, you're doing something wrong here. Look, you need to stop, or something bad will happen. And other times, it may seem like that's what's going on. God said this other people, but God's saying, the devil comes up to us, "Look what he's doing. Look what he's doing." Like Job. Look what he goes, let me tempt him. He'll curse you. Let me tempt him. He'll betray you. God goes, that is the only time God ever called a man perfect. Job was the only man in the Bible, human, 100% human, no percent God, was ever called perfect by God. And when we say we have to have the patience like Job, how many of us really have that patience? How many really want that patience?
Job went through.
No, I don't know any man that wants to go through what Job did. Sure. To say they do, when it finally starts happening, they get mad at God for what's going on. Like they asked for it. Even David said, "Try me, O Lord, search my soul." And God did. How many of you can say that? God, try me, Lord, search my soul, search me for my iniquities. How many of you would be willing to let God do it?
That's good.
How many of you would be willing to go humble yourselves like that? Go, God, search me. Search me for what I've done wrong. Show me that I may correct it. That I may that you may show me the error of my ways, and that I may live for you like I should. Sadly, a lot of us have not done that. A lot of us have forgotten to go, God, I'm sorry. A lot of us, after we sin, don't realize that we sin because it's just become a habit. I'm not saying that any of us have done that here, but a lot of us have. While we were at the Gold Coast Jubilee, Brother Holmes in India said in India they're less strict. They allow them to teach in the schools. They allow them to preach the gospel in the schools. You go into the schools today, say, I want to preach the gospel to all kids. They'll laugh at you. Some parents might even sue you for saying that. They say, we want to take religion out of schools. If that's the case, they can't teach history or science. Because atheism is evolution. That's saying there is no God, that they're saying that everything evolved, that we came from a single cell organism in a primordial, that word, soup, from a rock somewhere out there. And they're saying that's not atheism, that they're saying that God doesn't exist. And they're saying atheism isn't a religion. Shows you how blind they really are. Shows you how stupid scientists are. They may have all the book smart they could ever want, all the book smart they could ever need to solve any problem. What can seem like it can solve any problem that they'll ever have. But the wrong problem that truly matters, they won't be able to solve because it's not on earth. It's not about the physical earth, it's about the spiritual. The one problem that they'll never be able to solve if they continue in the ways that they are is the problem of the road they're on. Not physically, spiritually. They're on a road to hell. And sadly, when a lot of us see people like that, people say, I know all, I don't have to have God. I don't need him. I feel complete. And the road may seem smooth. The road may seem easy. That's just on this side. Wait till they get over the hill. Wait till they see what's on the other side. Then they'll wish they'll turn back. They'll wish they'll humble themselves and see God's face. They'll wish they would have listened. A lot of us, when we see them, get afraid that they might change the way we see. But if you're planted in the book, if you read it constantly, you're rooted in it, and you're like a palm, like it says, palm trees. How do you seen palm trees in a hurricane? They'll bend, they'll waver in the wind, even up to 174 miles an hour, I think it was. And after the storm, they're straight. They just stand right back up. A lot of Christians aren't like that. They're like a tumbleweed. They blow in the direction, they go in the direction the wind's blowing. If the wind's blowing towards God and Christians, they'll walk over here. Okay, I'll fine. But once the wind starts opposing them, okay, bye. I'm going to go over here, it seems easier. They just go back and forth, hopelessly. Waiting for someone to stop them and say, this is the way I want you to go, come on, follow me.
That's the seed that falls in the thistle.
They'll sprout up and be choked. Because they forgot to read God, they forgot to seek God's face. They forgot to humble themselves. To humble themselves, they forgot to pray. They forgot to say, God, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. let's look at the latter part of the verse. After we ask for forgiveness, after we humbled ourselves, after we turned from our wicked ways, we can't humble ourselves and not turn from our wicked ways. We can't humble ourselves and not pray. We can't humble ourselves and not seek God's face.
Yes. Come on.
You can't humble without doing all those three things. We have to seek God's face. We have to pray and turn from our wicked ways. That is the only way we can be humble. That is the only way we can feel complete. I don't know about you, but when I get behind this pulpit, it feels like nothing on this earth can ever stop me. Then it says, then will I hear from heaven and forgive their sins and heal their land. My eyes shall be opened and my ears attend unto the prayer that is made in this place. Back when Solomon was alive, in verse 12, he goes, I have chosen this place to myself for a house of sacrifice. The sacrifice on top of the house of sacrifice he's talking about to Solomon is the temple. And if we're the temple of God, that means the house of sacrifice. We are the house of God. We're the house of sacrifice that God has sanctified. So we are the temple. We have the right. No. We have to sacrifice. We have to ask for forgiveness. That's what sacrifice was showing. Asking for forgiveness unto God. Saying, God, I'm sorry. Forgive me. They did it once a year. But that's not how much we should do it. We should do it every time we sin. Say, God, I'm sorry. God, I'm sorry. But sadly, a lot of us don't. We'll sin. Yeah, I sin. Just walk away. Just walk away from it. Just try. Just go. Okay. And when things start going hard, when things start seeming like they're getting tough, like just say you lose your job, just say you lose your job, you lose your car, your bank account gets hacked, and you have nothing left. You say, "Fucking God, I don't know what to do." You start looking around for answers, but when the answer for us Christians is right here. We all, God calls to us and goes, pray, I can help you pray. And you just go, well, I don't hear anything. I need help. But the only person that can really help you, you've turned your back on. You said, I don't need your help. I don't want your help. There's nothing you can do for me. You walk away. You look towards the world for help. And nothing ever comes. It may seem like it comes. It may seem like it's here. But it's not the answer you're looking for.
Wow.
It's never the answer you're looking for in the world. It may seem like the right thing at the time to do, but it isn't. Even when people are going, hey, do this, come on. You won't be our friends if you won't do this. Just say you're at school. Any school. Even at Christian college. Even at Christian colleges, they have people like this. Come on, man, no one's gonna know. Take a swig. Take a joint. And you do. You've sinned. You've given in to peer pressure. And the only way you can give in to peer pressure is if you choose to do it. Even if you might think you have, even if you read the Bible, you can give in to peer pressure. That just shows that you read it to read it. You don't read it to learn. You read the Bible because you have to, not because you want to. The only way you're going to learn from this book is if you want to. It's a choice. God didn't give us free will so we could learn without choosing to. That's the only way we learn, is if we choose to accept what is there and learn from it. They're just saying that their failure is That is saying, we have to learn from our mistakes. If we don't, it's just going to keep on coming. We're going to do the same thing. It's just like trials. Just say something happens and it happens over and over and over again. It's because for the first, you didn't learn from it each time. Until you learn from it, you're going to continue repeating it. God's going to say, you didn't learn it. You didn't learn what I wanted you to learn. So, you're going to go through it again and again and again. So keep on going until you get what you learn. There's 3 stages of life when it comes to Christians. That's either right after right as you're getting into the trial, during the trial, and after the trial. I mean, sometimes it may seem like the trial is never going to end. You're in the middle of the trial. The world's bearing down on you. All I can say is just read the Bible. Read the Bible. The end is near. Everything will come. Things will come to pass. I heard someone say his favorite verse in the Bible, it came to pass. It came to pass. The good, the bad year come, it'll pass. A good year will come, it'll pass. The pimple stage, the teenage years, it'll pass. Unless you're that weird person that